Hello and welcome to Actual Reviews in English, another TLDR video where I take a quick, brief, abbreviated look at whatever it is I reviewed and mention something good, something bad, what's the best and what's the worst about it. And in this case, it's the Fiio M11S. This DAP has been sent to me as part of a tour organised by Zocco City. I have no affiliation with Zocco City, and you can find out more by reading the full review. The link is in the description, or just head over to actualreviews.com. Okay, so something good. Good is the performance. The performance of this DAP is good. It's a good performing DAP. I mean, things are smooth, it responds well, it's snappy. I mean, it's not caused me any issues at all at the time I've been using it. I mean, it just works well. I mean, I just have no complaints about the performance. Something bad. Now, usually I would complain that it's an Android DAP. I mean, I'm not a fan of Android DAPs. But in this case, it's got an exclusive music player mode that lets you get rid of all that. So I can't even complain about it being an Android DAP. So the bad thing for me has to be the size. I mean, I know it's not the biggest Fiio DAP out there, but look, in comparison to one of my phones, it's like over 3/4 of the length of the phone. It's the same width, and it's almost 3 times thicker than the phone. So really, the size, I mean, I can't see myself carrying this in my pocket. I don't like things in my pocket anyway, but I can't see this carrying in my pocket. So it doesn't need to be this big. I mean, and it's very heavy as well. So for me, the bad is the size and the weight of it. The best, for me, the best is the sound. The sound of the local files played from the SD card. This just, I mean, with IEMs, I've just found that this works great. All the IEMs I've tried with it, I've just enjoyed listening to music with it. It's got a sound that's not overly cold, it's not overly warm. I mean, it's just maybe a little bit of a hint in the upper ranges, in the treble ranges, but in general, it's just a really good sound that get from this DAP. And that brings me to the worst. The worst is the difference between the sound of the local files and anything from a streaming service. I mean, I've tried out Tidal and Spotify. I don't have Cobus, so I can't say how that works. But with Tidal and Spotify, the difference between the sound of the local file and the stream file is very different. I mean, there's always a little difference on all devices between streaming and locally played, at least in the ones I've tried. But in this case, there really is a difference. I mean, if I was to give this a 10 out of 10 for the sound of the local files, I would only give it a 7 out of 10 for anything streamed, and it's a shame. So I would say that's the worst thing about it. And I guess that's it. Something good, something bad, what's the best and what's the worst. If you want to know more, read the full review. I mean, it's probably a long review because there's a lot of things to talk about in this, but that is the TLDR of the M11S, and I'll be back with another one soon. See you later.